Hey, it's Nina.
And Ashley back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Gettin It Podcast. Just so you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Gettin It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Gettin. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud.com/YAGI. Follow us on there, comment, all that good stuff. And we're on YouTube. Just search Young and Gettin It Podcast. You'll see a cartoon version of me and Ashley, and you'll see all of our videos. And now it's like we have the thumbnails with like us talking and being like, ha.
Like, Nina with the hand movements, motions, all the fucking time.
Yes. So watch our videos on there, comment on there, and we will interact back.
Yeah, and you can also find us on Instagram at YAGI_podcast, or you can hit us up on our website, visit our website, which is www.weareYAGIP.com.
They can hit us up on there too.
Yeah, you can, because you could click the link. It'll either take us to our email, take you gonna be on there, to our email, or you could text us on our Google Voice number. Our email is Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. Our Google Voice number is 323-486-3811.
Yes. Back to the bullshit. Man. Okay, so the big story, to me, I just love this story. Back at Wendy Williams.
Oh, God.
So now Wendy Williams, mind you, her husband, Kevin Hunter, is one of the producers of the Wendy Williams show. Mm-hmm. So she served him with divorce papers like yesterday or 2 days ago, like on Monday of last week or whatever. And people were like, oh, he's fired. But they were like, he's not fired yet. She just served him papers or whatever. And then, but everyone's like, they're going to let him go, because it's not like a few people don't like him.
It's like
everybody doesn't like him, because he's been a dick, forever.
Yeah.
People don't like this guy, and he's all this shit. So remember how I told you how Charlemagne was like finally kind of saying some stuff? Nigga, he just today it was so refreshing just listening and being like, I've had these questions for years, Charlemagne. Thank you. Like, and then saying shit that I had no idea about, where I was like, oh, okay. So Kevin Hunter doesn't like Charlemagne because Kevin Hunter's side bitch is from the same place Charlemagne is from. Charlemagne introduced Nikki to Kevin 10 years ago, but not as like, you guys should date, just like, this is Nikki.
Like, this is my girl Nikki. Like, I know her from way back. We grew up together.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then so that he was already friends with Wax, who is his bodyguard / friend.
I know who Wax is, because he be on Brilliant Idiots sometimes. Yeah, and he's mad wild.
And he's a whole ass nigga.
Yes.
And so Nikki was actually like trying to talk to Wax, but I don't know, bitches be really attracted to Wax. And so I never saw why. So I had to tell myself, if you ever see Wax in person, do not fuck with him, because there's something about him
that captivates
women. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe he has a huge print or something. And like, I don't know what it is. I know I think he doesn't have a big meat, like, based on the many conversations he has. That's not important.
Nah.
Anyway, I don't know what it is about Wax, but I'll be like, no. You know how I be ignoring people? I'm like, nope. That's how it would have to be. But yeah. So he was mad that she liked Wax. Wax was like, she's just another one of the many. And so, but they ended up together in 10 years. He has a side bitch. She just had a baby, blah, blah, blah. So he already didn't like Charlemagne from that. He used to be Charlemagne's manager when Charlemagne was a nobody, like nobody relatively, because he was always somebody. But and like he would like fuck up Charlemagne's deals. Like Charlemagne would be getting spots, but they'd be like, I'm not gonna work with you because your manager is Kevin Hunter. Like, so many people don't like him.
Why didn't he drop him? Did he drop him after he heard
Eventually.
that? Okay.
Yeah, like I forgot exactly how the split happened, but they did separate, and then Charlemagne started getting a whole bunch of jobs, and that's when people started telling him, like, I actually just didn't hire you because you're with him. Like, I actually didn't do this.
That's weak.
Yeah, like, and during the financial crisis, when this is like almost 10 years ago, when Charlemagne was not who he is now, Kevin was managing him, like, if you're going to give him a deal, you need to pay him $250,000 a year. This is in 2008, when it's like, who's paying
anybody, a radio personality?
And he was a nobody 8-10 years ago, relatively, so it's like, no. Charlemagne was like, I'm gonna stick with the 70 that they offered me, like, because he was just like, I'm not gonna lose this over Kevin Hunt. And basically,
like, I need to eat.
Exactly. Like, they're going to say no, and then I'm going to lose an opportunity. And he did lose opportunities. And then, like, he just always had a beef with Kevin. And throughout the years, he's had to send him, like, cease and desist. Because remember when that, like, Charlamagne raped a girl shit came back out in the news? Come to find out, Kevin Hunter orchestrated the whole thing. Yeah. One of Kevin Hunter's assistants, who's not his assistant anymore, went on, like, a show and was like, I was his assistant. I was just in the room while he was making the phone calls talking about, like, we need to bring up the fact that Charlamagne raped. Like, he was the number one person who orchestrated.
Why is he like that?
Yeah, and that's when Charlamagne was having to send more cease and assists and a whole bunch of stuff, because he kept trying to, every time Charlamagne had an opportunity, he would get on the phone and try to, like, ruin the opportunity for Charlamagne.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, Charlamagne is not even dealing with you, but you hurt people just like to hurt people. So obviously he's going to waste his time trying to ruin Charlamagne when Charlamagne's over here doing his own business that has nothing to do with Kevin
and
or whatever.
not even, like, talking about him.
Yeah, he wasn't until recently, and he's like, this nigga's trash. And even Kevin Hunter had his attorney send Charlamagne cease and desist about talking to him before Charlamagne even started talking to him, to prevent
a step ahead of the game.
And the funny thing is, Charlamagne has enough evidence to sue him. And so that's why he decided, after the cease and desist came, he began to talk about him, because he was like, I know what you did. Oh, and I remember, which is crazy now thinking about it, he said it on the radio last year. He was saying, I know what you did last summer. I know what you did last summer. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah. Because he's saying last summer, Kevin Hunter, I know what you, but he would not tell us. Oh. He just kept saying, Kevin Hunter, I know what you did last summer. And we're thinking he's just referencing a movie and being Charlamagne. It's like, no, this nigga is saying, I know what happened. Like, and this has been going on for a long time. So he even said on the radio today, they're like, Angela Yee and DJ Envy were like, you should sue him. And he was all like, I still might. Charlamagne's going to win too, which is great. But, you know, that's just the story that another thing popped in my head where I was like, but yeah, so that was just a story where it's like, okay, now we know what happened. This guy's been trying to ruin Charlamagne's
for years.
Yeah, he even says that he might have been behind the "Can I get a drop" thing where the guy socked him in the face on the street. You know what?
When you started talking, I thought you were going to talk about that. I was like, oh, so Kevin Hunter is the one that lined that up, because I was wondering, like, why were so many people coming up to him on the street like, oh, can I get a drop? Like, because it was a whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
Yeah, and it was just like, he was just trying to fuck with him because he used to be more powerful than Charlamagne. Now Charlamagne's more powerful than him. Yeah. So he just was trying to fuck up his career. And then, you know how he bought his baby mom a Lamborghini? Remember
how? Ferrari.
A Ferrari? Yeah. Yeah, I got repossessed yesterday. It got repossessed and they have it on video being taken.
No.
Yeah. The day after he gets served for the divorce.
Damn, because you using Wendy's money, nigga.
That's Wendy's money.
I hope they got a prenup, but it's like, I feel like I'm like, they've been together for so long.
Before she had money.
And she thought she really loved him. That's why I'm like,
I know, man. Doesn't that suck?
Because, like, honestly, like, part of me is like, I feel like no matter what, you should get a prenup. Because I feel like,
right. I mean, why not?
Like, I'm not saying I'm going to get divorced, but it's just like, you never know what the future may hold. Like, people change, sadly.
You need to protect your future self, possibly.
Yeah. So it's just like, you do have to protect yourself and still keep in mind the what ifs. I'm not saying that's all you should think about, but it's just like, you should think about that a little bit, because like, what if you realize, like, maybe 5 years after you get married, like, damn, like, this nigga live like this, like,
this
or
nigga
just like,
ain't who he said he was.
Yeah, like, I don't, like, this is how he's living his life, like, this is the type of person that he is, and then you're just stuck in a situation, because like, what if you make more money, women?
Or what if you didn't make a lot of money and then you get married and then you start making significantly more money than this nigga?
And this nigga start acting different.
Mary J. Blige has to pay her ex-husband.
I will not. That's why I'm like, part of me is like, you should always get a fucking prenup and just protect your fucking self, because you don't know what could happen. And then I know my parents, they don't share a bank account. Like, well, they do, but they still have their own. Like, my mom has hers and my dad has his, and it's so funny because like, sometimes my dad will borrow money from my mom, or my mom will borrow money from my dad, and like, they'll pay each other back. Like, it's not just like, oh, well, you know, like, we're together. No, it's just like, my nigga, give me my money.
Yeah. Not getting a prenup is such a bad idea. But you can even get a prenup that says, if I still want to make sure she gets a significant chunk of my money, because I actually believe that like housewives should get so much because they're fully raising your kid. You're fully raising your kids, and you had it, and you have to take care of the house. Yeah. If you're a stay-at-home mom and your house looks like shit, he's gonna make you get a job. He's gonna be like, you don't need to be here.
A job and just hire a nanny.
Don't have a nasty ass, like, if you're a housewife, you have to clean the house. Like that literally it's in your name.
When your kids are taking a nap, that's when you do it.
You gotta clean all the shit, and you gotta cook. Because it's a whole salary. So if you're getting a salary's worth of housewifing at somebody else's house, you would have the house clean, you would have the babies taken care of, and you would have food cooked.
Unless you ain't shit person. Because there's some people that would live with people and like be in their whole fucking space, eating their fucking food.
Not doing shit.
Won't do shit, won't take out the trash, won't clean shit, won't buy groceries, won't cook a meal. Literally just living their life.
Living in the house, smoking up all the weed. Just be in the house on the couch.
Drinking all the juice.
Right.
Like.
Drinking all the juice, doing nothing. And the kids are bad and fucking dirty. Right. They need to take a fucking shower.
So it's just.
I told myself I need to stop cussing so much. Jeez.
It's so hard.
It's really hard.
I was at that work thing, little work happy hour, cussing up a storm. Because I was with fucking, like, it was just coworkers because, like, literally nobody else came. So I was just like, you know what? You're going to see the true me.
Yeah. I'm too tired to be professional right now.
Yeah.
Just forget it. Oh, sorry. There's a little bit more about the Kevin Hunter thing. So the same dude who told like, I'm the assistant, and he was saying conducting all this shit with Charlemagne. He also said that like one time he like Kevin called him into the room or the bathroom or something, because I think he said he was like in the tub naked, and then but like nothing came of it. He kind of just like brushed it off, and then he said that another time, like Kevin Hunter, like he was in a room and then Kevin Hunter came in and like basically fucked him in the ass and was saying a whole bunch. I was like, I wonder if that's true.
I'm just like, how does that happen though?
And he was gay for sure.
Does he say, oh, he was gay?
He's gay, you know.
So
niggas on the download will be like, you're gay.
Okay, I get it. Like by that, you saying him coming in and just fucking him in the ass. I'm like, oh, so did this nigga want it? Like,
oh yeah,
how did it work?
What he's saying is Kevin Hunter was saying. I wish I remembered what he said Kevin Hunter was saying, but he was saying something like, yeah, I'm the masters, you know. Something like that.
No, it wasn't that.
It was on the Breakfast Club, but I forgot what he said. No, but he was really saying some shit like, "Oh yeah, you like that shit." He's like, fucked him in the ass and came, and
that
then
just
like,
sounds so nasty.
And I was like, that nigga do look like, because it's like, man, he just seems like a horrible person.
Yeah,
he just seems like a terrible human being. So I'm like, I'm not gonna put shit past him.
Yikes.
Is that all that happened? Yeah, Lamborghini got possessed. But what pop culture do you have?
Okay, so I was looking on Daily Mail today, as I do sometimes, and I found this video of these people fighting outside of like a convenience store because like, he fucking slammed her. But let me explain. Oh my God. Those women, they got like they got called out by people in the store for stealing hot dogs. Bitch, yes, hot dogs. All of this over some fucking hot dogs. So, this dude confronted them and they started trying to like attack him. They said that they started throwing trash cans at him. You see the girl fucking ripped the fucking gas thing off. This is in Ohio.
She ripped the gas thing off?
Yes, and it's swinging it at him. Like a fucking, what are those?
Like a psychopath.
like
a lasso?
Balls? No, the ones with the ball at the end.
Oh, fuck, I don't know what those are called.
It was in Kill Bill. I don't know what that shit's called. But y'all know what I'm talking about. It has like the spiky ball at the end of the chain. And you like swing it. She's swinging it like that.
Oh my God.
But he fucking slammed the fuck out of that bitch.
Why didn't he run away though?
Wouldn't they
make it his fault because he didn't run? Because they always tell niggas you have to run.
And they said while witnesses said the women started fighting and ganged up on him, the video shows him violently standing his ground.
Violently?
Yeah. He pushed one bitch.
He's not violently standing his ground. He's literally standing.
And he's backing up and dodging the shit that they're throwing at him.
It is weird that he isn't running.
And she was about to like throw something at him, so he pushed the fuck out of her.
Is that the whole video?
Yeah, that's all that they show. And then there's like pictures. Like these pictures are like intense.
That is weird that he like did that.
Oh yeah.
They're weird too, obviously, but it's like
what? Why are you stealing hot dogs?
Broke bitches.
Another funny one I found was Breaking Bad. Professor faces 10 years in prison after getting students to produce ecstasy at Japanese university. What? He was 61.
Breaking Bad ass.
They were making MDMA and 5-FQUPIC. I don't know what the fuck that is. He said he claimed he was furthering education of pharmaceutical sciences students. He's been
pharmacy students.
Yes. But did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
I watched the first episode and I couldn't do it.
Bitch, I did that so many times.
I know.
After the first episode, you're fine. But he's a high school chemistry teacher, I think, and like he finds out he has cancer, so he's like, "Fuck, I gotta pay for this cancer treatment." Yeah, and so he I don't remember where he lives, or how he even learns about meth. Yeah, but this nigga starts stealing supplies from the high school fucking laboratory. Yeah, to make the meth. Oh. And so that's why they're basically calling him Breaking Bad.
And he becomes like in the show he becomes like a full blown
he's legit.
And he ends up making more money than he even needs for his cancer shit. Yeah, he gets to that level. Have you watched Weeds?
No. I started that and I couldn't get past it.
Oh, that show makes me want to cry.
She has breast cancer?
No, she her husband just dies out of nowhere and she's a housewife.
Oh, yikes.
And so it's like she just gotta figure it out.
I mean, basically. Now that's just legal.
Yeah.
But it's like you never have the capital to start it. So like some people I know, like they like started illegally and then they go legit.
Oh yeah, like almost every clinic in California. What the fuck?
Some of them don't ever become legal though, because they're like, we don't want to pay taxes.
The one we go to ain't legal.
No, they're like, we're not paying taxes.
I walk in there, I'm like, I just don't. I just walk in there and I'm like, I told the police don't run up this shit when I'm in here. Yeah, because I'm like, man, I ain't got no parts. I'll come in here and be like, I thought this was a pharmacy.
Okay, and then I only have two more after this. More than 50 medical professionals, including 31 doctors, are charged in illegal opioid distribution scheme involving 32 million pills across 5 states.
That's 32 million ingestions.
Let me tell you how many illegal prescriptions they wrote. 350,000.
Oh my God. And they make money for writing these prescriptions.
32 million pills. 32 million. And this is all from like a 6-month investigation that they did on these physicians. There's some other people that just like work in hospitals.
Why y'all do crime? Y'all just don't want to work. Like,
and this is over 2 years. Over 2 years, they sold 1.75 million opioid pills.
So many people do crime. I'm wondering why I haven't gotten arrested for
because you don't want to go to jail.
I mean, I have done shit I could get arrested for.
Yeah, but it's just like, I feel like
I'm gonna minimize that also. We ain't doing that shit no more.
Right there are small illegal infractions that you commit every day, like everybody. But it's just like
OJ, his post.
What
he was like, I've been driving for 10 years or 14 years or something, and he's like, I ain't never got a ticket for driving in the carpool. And he was like, I finally got a ticket. And he was like, I'm not going to stop driving in the carpool. He was like, I need to get a mannequin or something. He was like, I'm not stopping.
Better get a sex doll. Like
right.
Just
sex put them right there.
They be looking human as fuck. Damn.
They probably sell that on Amazon like a carpool buddy.
Yeah. Today I was so tempted to get in that shit. And I was like, Ash, you don't want that ticket. Yeah. Like you want to spend that money on other things. Like
it's too expensive. It's $500.
It used to be $341.
Oh, it depends on the city you're in,
fucking big.
But you know, it varies by city. I think if 500 was in like LA.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, in LA that makes sense, but I mean, there's also hella fucking traffic.
Right. Exactly.
So it might be worth it.
Right.
The fuck?
Exactly.
That's time. Time is money, my nigga.
Take your chances.
Okay. The last one is how the Notre Dame cathedral burned down.
Oh, fuck. I hope you're not about to tell me the same stat I saw today. And I was like, really?
What?
Motherfucker?
How much it's worth?
No.
What?
3 billionaires came together and that's what you're about to tell me?
No.
But you saw that one?
Yes.
They came together and put $600 million back into that?
In like a day?
And this is French people. So in America, we have billionaires too. So we just need 3 of y'all to put together $200 million each. And the Flint water crisis would probably be over. Puerto Rico would probably be figured out.
That's so crazy to me that they literally still do not have water.
What?
Like, I really don't understand how, like, that's a thing.
How do you know? I know people live in Flint because they can't afford to move, but I'm like, how are you surviving with no
Honestly,
water?
I would go be a bum.
How are you fucking... I know, I would be a panhandler. That would be my occupation.
I would just go be a fucking bum.
And they still pay for their water bill.
Yeah, because if they don't, they get charged a fine. So they have no choice but to pay it.
You guys have to shower with water bottles and buckets like Nigeria, which it's not that bad. I like showering
like that, but when our parents, when we moved, my mom made us do that.
Yeah, like I don't dislike it much.
Like when we didn't have our place yet.
But it's like, who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Like having to boil water and mix it with cold water.
And the thing is, I don't even know how my mom boiled the water because we used to live in like our office between living in Fontana, and like there was no stove there. At least I don't think. If I don't remember right.
Like, how did the water get hot?
Yeah, I'm like, how did she do that?
Maybe she had the portable stove.
She could have. Because she really made that thing work.
Because people do buy that shit when they're in between.
Yeah, like our house wasn't built yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't done being built.
Yep.
Okay, but what I was saying is that Donald Trump offered help. Like, I'm not saying it's monetary help. The first type of help that this nigga said.
Wow.
Yeah, of course he's always tweeting, right? But this nigga gonna tweet that they should get flying water tankers to put out the fire.
What?
Yeah. He said, get flying water tankers to put it out fast.
Wait, no.
Let me read his words. And I'm gonna tell you how they responded. Like, quote, so horrible to watch the massive fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. The president tweeted shortly after the news broke of the blaze. Quote, perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out. Must act quickly, end quote. So France was like, actually, like, if we use flying water tankers, it could cause more damage because, like, the water crashing down is going to cause structural damage. So instead, these niggas used a fucking robot to help them put the fire out. Yeah, I looked at another article, and there was, like, this robot that went in there and, like, sprayed water and shit. Yeah, to keep it from like crumbling.
Do we have robots that do that?
Apparently. I mean, have you seen the robot that like runs? There's like this.
The one that does backflips that's fucking gonna take over the world in like 30 years.
The one that reminds you of the dog off of Black Mirror.
Oh my God.
That shit is creepy. If you haven't watched Black Mirror, please watch Black Mirror.
People are genuinely afraid of Black Mirror. I've had
sense, though.
Multiple people are afraid to watch it. I'm like, it's not scary. Just don't watch it at night, like alone.
So then how is it not scary if you can't watch it? If you're
scared, you shouldn't. I'll watch that shit at any time because it's not supposed to be scary. It's not meant to be scary. Electric Dreams was fucking scary. I don't know. I get it.
I didn't watch that.
The alternate reality makes it scary. Yeah. Not even the storyline. And like some of their episodes are like, you know how every story looks different. So some of their episodes are like dark. Like they make the lighting dark and everything's dark and gray.
Like how they do in horror movies.
Yeah. So I could see that because I think there was like one episode that scared me. And then Black Mirror fucked up because their first ever episode
was a dude fucking
a fucking pig, so it's
like,
kind of a
and
hard
that's why
start.
Everybody's all like, just get past the first episode, just get past this first one, and it's just like, yes, but it does get a little bit rougher after that. So.
I mean, but then there's the bright ones, the one about social media. I love that one, or the San Junipero.
That my heart.
That one's the best one. I want to cry. Yeah, that was a good one. I'm like, can y'all give us that option?
And then, I forgot to tell you. So about the cathedral.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yes.
It's actually 1 billion, not 600 million.
Well,
it's 1
no
billion.
surprise. Oh wow. Yeah. The people donated $1 billion. Yes. Okay.
And people are also saying they saw Jesus in the flames.
Okay.
Yep. Well, let's get out of here with that shit.
Let's just relax when it comes
to
that.
This is the picture. I'm like, ain't no fucking Jesus in this. Where is Jesus? I don't see Jesus.
Let's see. No. I'm like, there's no.
An archaeological part of history was destroyed on Monday as a fire obliterated parts of Notre Dame Cathedral.
I wonder how that caught on fire, though.
The fire lasted
I know. And people said the fire alarm went off like 25 minutes prior to the fire being noticed.
So it was probably a small fire that just fucking.
I mean, it's old as shit.
Yeah.
Business Insider reports while the fire destroyed the cathedral's
Where is the fucking picture? I don't want to hear this nigga talk.
Was that right there with the circle?
Yeah. Shut up, bro.
Where?
Why won't it zoom in?
Where? Just make it. Yeah, I was about to say.
Where's
Jesus? Where? You mean fire?
Fire and
in wood?
My nigga, bye.
Y'all better chill out. Ain't no Jesus
Just
in
like
that.
when them people were saying they saw Jesus in the bread. You didn't see no Jesus in no fucking
I'm
piece
like,
of toast.
yeah, and shit happens to where you might just see something that's really resemblance of shapes of Jesus. Y'all barely even know what race he is.
You're probably just tired.
I first of all, and like quite frankly, not to be rude, but I don't care about this cathedral.
Yeah, no, me either.
Because
let that shit burn.
This has nothing to do with what God has us here for.
And then until y'all get our stolen history out of y'all museums, I quite frankly don't give a fuck about like a fucking church in France.
And I feel like slaves built that.
Yikes.
Probably. I don't know what race the slaves were, but I feel like slaves built that.
Yeah, because ain't nobody well off went and put in some labor to build it.
Yeah, and this is when there was just rich and poor. There was barely any middle class at that time. So
we don't care.
I don't know. I genuinely don't care, but it's like I have to reel it back a little bit because Donald Trump had the nerve to say, let's bring a ton of water when you are in the country and actually closer to California is actually further away from Michigan. He is in DC, which is closer to Michigan. And you are not saying, hey, let's send tanks and water to Detroit. Hold on. Wait, when California was on fire over some shit we can't control because of weather and because of global warming that y'all say ain't real, you got mad at us for our shit catching on fire. And like we did it.
He cut taxes to funded something that controlled how much brush we had. Like in California, there are so many signs that say, please keep your brush up. Like, don't let there be a lot of like debris and brush on the side of your house, on the road, whatever. Like, because this is a high fire risk area.
It gets hot as shit out here.
And we have plants that need fire to grow. So like fires are natural.
Right.
But I think they get out of control when you cut funding that helps control them by cleaning up some of the dry grass, twigs, dead trees, things of that sort that are great fire starters.
While rich people are getting more back on their taxes.
Yikes. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that during our educational segment. But it's like, I hate how Donald Trump, and this, mind you, this is a white country too. And so I hate how Donald Trump is putting like, I care so much.
Reminded me.
What?
Why does somebody in my complex have a Trump Make America Great Again flag in their garage?
I had a customer with a hat on that I had to serve at the restaurant.
Yeah, and I'd be seeing their garage open, and I'm like, that makes me so very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're just idiots.
Yeah, because it's just like, when it comes to people that support Trump, it's either like, they fuck with him a little bit, or they're like full head ass on. But no, more head on, like more time than not, they're like full in it.
If you have a flag, you're in it. If you have a flag, anyone who shows it like is in deep. It. Ain't nobody lightweight like Trump and buying all his memorabilia and all that shit. No. I don't trust people who show Make America, because it almost means like you're trying to say something to me, like you're trying to press me, like, hey, I follow this guy. What you gonna do about it? I'm like, nah, I don't need that type of energy around me. Like, Donald Trump does not give a fuck about anyone of color, and he never has. He used to short people.
And the thing is, I don't even know if he cares about people. I feel like he capitalizes and uses people as pawns.
He knows he's gonna die, like not like, but his length of life is shorter than a lot of people. So he knows that, like, he's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not gonna be here forever. And that's how white assholes think. They think about the present. They think about benefiting themselves, like. And then he has his kids who are going to try to follow his legacy, but we're going to take his kids down because he's acting like this because he knows he won't be around, but he doesn't realize his kids have to carry this for the rest of their lives.
And they get dragged for everything.
They're going to get
literally everything they do, they get dragged for it.
They're going to get dragged. Yeah, they're and
it's a known fact that she doesn't love him.
Yeah, even the videos of her just not wanting to hold his hand, I'm like, damn, you got this shit out there. Like, I mean, I can't fuck with her either because she got with him because he had money. She didn't like him. Look at her. Like, who would like him? Ew. They don't even say ill. He probably, I'm not even going to say that. Ew. But Trump, yeah, ill.
No. You ready to go to commercial break?
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Hey guys, so we're breaking the conversation really quick to talk about our black business of the week, Mysteeknaturals. It is spelled MYSTEEKnaturals. MaKe Naturals, because I hope you can spell that. Mysteek Naturals. So this is no bleach temporary hair color that lasts 3 to 5 days, which I really think is really cool, just because like black people, our hair will fall out if we dye it, and that's why
it gets so crunchy.
Every black girl's hair gets fucked up if she puts real dye in that shit. So she has that, and she has activated charcoal toothpaste, which everyone, it's like a craze right now because it has really great whitening features. I wonder if it's like an oxidation or something that does to your teeth. I'm like,
I don't know.
Whatever.
I've been seeing the shit.
But about the owner, Electra Davis is the founder of Mysteek Naturals. She's believed to be one of the first women to have created a chemical-free hair color product, having started developing the product in 2016. This company is a black woman, veteran-owned small business. She's a 35-year-old divorcee who let that fire push her further to the top, and mother of 2 beautiful children and bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in accounting, which means she knows how to run her own stuff.
She knows how to run that
money.
money.
So she started her company because, like many other women, she was looking for an alternative to the rinses that weren't giving her the vibrant popping color that she so badly wanted. Yet with the harmful chemicals and processes of using a developer to bleach her hair to get that vibrant color she so badly desired. So she began using the color on herself, and other people began to ask her how she was changing her hair weekly and sometimes daily without damaging it.
Okay, girl.
When she told them, they requested she start making them some as well, and this is how the company was birthed. So her ultimate goal is to assist her customers in remaining health conscious, that's important, along with maintaining a personal relationship with her customers to obtain their feedback, both positive and negative, to better assist them over time and make the company evolve for the better over time. She's created a cream poppin' hair color that assists with, she has created a cream-based pop-in hair color line that assists in obtaining vibrant color customers want without drying their hair. There's no need for developer, bleach, pre-lightening, or chemical dyes in this product to obtain these bright colors. Just a rock star in a jar. This isn't a rinse, so there's nothing to wash out. So if you guys want to find her, it's mysteeknaturals.com, MYSTEEK naturals.com, or you can find her on Facebook at Mysteek Naturals, spelled the same way, just a space in between the Mysteek and the Naturals, and then Twitter at Mysteek Naturals. I like how she was able to keep the same name, makes it easy.
Had it.
She was smart about it. And then same on Instagram, Mysteek Naturals. So let's support this black business. And literally, she has every single color on her page, like even that light brown that some girls want to do. She has it all. So I'm like, I'm gonna hop on there and buy some stuff.
Right.
And make sure you guys follow her. So we're back, guys, and I quickly wanted to talk about something that's been like a big issue lately is, tax day was April 15th, so your taxes had to be done by then. I always do my taxes like freakishly ahead of time, so it's like I got my refund check like 2 to 3 months ago.
This is the first year I waited till the last minute because I was waiting for a document that my black ass didn't even fucking need, but fucking Kaiser and Cover California fucking suck and confused the bitch. Like they've had me think that I needed it, and so I waited a long time and then I didn't.
Oh, did they took a while to send it?
Yeah, they were like, you should have gotten it by now if you didn't call. And I was like, yeah, I was really waiting. And so I called, and they're like, oh, you need to call Kaiser. So I called Kaiser, and then Kaiser looked, and they were like, yeah, you actually don't get one. I'm just like,
yeah, it's just,
understand.
I just had way more things show up than I expected. I was like, what is all of this? Have I done this much? Like the fuck I need all this for? But yeah, like I had a friend before they like went through all their taxes and their deductibles, they showed me how much they owed, and I was like, and then statistics actually showed that 1 million more people are not getting money back on their taxes this year.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I looked up a couple articles. This first one by Forbes, it was saying, this is back in August, reports suggest more taxpayers will owe tax in 2019 due to insufficient withholding, which now we have seen as true because 1 million more people did not get it. Do you know what your tax rate looks like? The Tax Jobs and Cuts Act, TCJA, was signed into law last year in 2017. It's because this was made in 2018, with the promise that most taxpayers would get tax breaks. However, the General Accounting Office, GAO, is warning that unless taxpayers act to adjust their withholding, more than 30 million taxpayers will owe taxes next year, which is an increase from 2017.
30 million.
They estimated
people?
30 million, so it's like, I guess it's good because it only happened to one.
Whoa.
And
no, it said 1 million more than last year. So it happened to 30 million people. Last year it was 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went up. That's not good.
Yeah, price going up. Literally.
I saw this article from Investopedia, which it's like, as a finance major, we used Investopedia so much. Like, it's just the finance Wikipedia.
I'm about to use that shit. I'm about to put it in my phone.
Right. And it's like, it's too late now, but for next year at least, guys, because it's like, I didn't realize this was this big of a deal. I just thought taxes were going to go the same. I didn't know that people are going to get their shit rocked. They got their shit rocked.
I mean, but I feel like there were so many warnings saying that people might end up owing. And I think people didn't really believe it. They were like, oh, no.
I wasn't paying attention. But it's just like,
I don't think people paid attention to the tax brackets for one. And then like how they changed. Like, yeah, I stayed in the same tax bracket, but I was damn so fucking close to being in the next one up, and that would have screwed me over with the amount of money that I was making. Yeah. So it's just like, I think some people didn't pay attention to that, and so that's how they got screwed. Yeah. You know? Oof. And they didn't heed to the warning. They were like, oh no, we'll be all right. It won't be that bad.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that shit.
No.
But at least I know for next year. We were talking about this before we started taping, is I always used to put 1 for allowances, or it's allowances. But I changed it to 0 at the end of last year. So it's like from that point on, because it's just like, and they it was also saying this in this article, how to owe nothing on your federal tax return. So they said, determine your total tax liability. Your personal situation will determine how accurately you can calculate your total tax liability for the year. If you're a salaried employee with a steady job, it's relatively easy because you can predict what your total income for the year will be. If you're an hourly, seasonal, or self-employed worker, make an educated guess based on your earnings history in your current line of work and how your year has gone so far. They have an online paycheck calculator that you can use. There's an IRS tax withholding calculator online. There's a sample tax return that you could use online. And these are things you can just Google. You also should determine your tax withholding. Once you know the total amount you owe in federal taxes, you'll need to figure out how much you need to have withheld per pay period to get to that total, but not exceed it by December 31st. If not enough tax is being withheld, the easiest way to fix the problem is to fill out a new W-4. On line 6, which says additional amount, if any, you want withheld from each paycheck, fill out the difference between what you should be paying each pay period and what you're actually paying. That's why when I was reading that, I was like, oh shit, I need to do that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I need to do that. Like, you can also decrease the number of withholding allowances you claim, but the results won't be quite as accurate. You don't have to wait for your employee's HR department to hand you a new W-4 form. Just print out the W-4 yourself from the IRS website. What? These are things we didn't know.
I thought, every time you get a new job, you just do it.
And I thought you couldn't change it.
No, there's a thing. Now that I think about it, on like the thing that we use for like our paycheck, it does say, change like your W-2.
That's crazy. That's so
now
crazy.
That I think about it.
We just don't pay attention.
Never done it, though.
We just never paid attention. I'm sure we've come across this. And we just were like,
we don't pay attention to it. I think it's just like we don't know what it is. And like we just know that we have to pay taxes. And this is what you generally do. So it's like, why am I going to change anything?
Have you ever noticed that whenever you're filling out a W-2, W-4 or whatever at a job orientation or something like that, the nigga doing it has no idea how to help you?
Yeah, you be asking like, so what do I put on
this? What does this
line?
mean? Like, I mean, they be really having in kids, like 16 years old, filling that shit out, having no idea what the fuck that shit means. Like,
and it's like when you're that age, you don't even end up paying taxes because you don't make a taxable amount.
There should be something
just
like
taking out your check, but you don't really have to go file taxes. You don't have to go file taxes.
Yeah, they need to make some sort of system to help people fill out their W-4.
It's called education.
I know, but that shit ain't working. If they taught us
real life skills, we wouldn't have fucking problems like filling out our taxes.
That's why I always say, like, every school should have had finance or something related as an elective, because it should have included how to keep your credit score up. It
should have been mandatory.
It should be mandatory
because your credit score matters so much.
It's literally right amongst history, economics, and government.
Yeah,
it should be history, economics, government, and finance. Because finance, you don't need to force your students to do math. It could be basic calculator math. But it's like, we should know how to keep your credit score up, credit utilization. You should know how to pay your bills and what bills you will be paying as an adult. You should know how to fill out your W-2, W-4. Finance should also include
how to file your taxes. How to file. For the longest, I didn't even know how to file my taxes, and when like the time came for me to file them, I definitely had to ask my mom to help me.
Yeah, like I mean, like when I think about what I want to do in the future, being a principal is one of the many things that cross my mind. Just because I know that I want to be in a higher up position, but I don't want to square myself into one little place because it makes people miserable, and I've seen it. So that's I don't want to put myself in the same place. And it's like, there was one principal that almost made me cry because it was like he just gave so much of a fuck about his kids. He just cared about his kids. And he even in the video, he wasn't always dressed up. He just had like a school sweater on, some jeans, and was just like, just like he looked like a coach. Yeah. But he was the principal. He was on the news a while ago. I remember hearing about him like a year ago because he put a room of washing machines and dryers because he noticed kids weren't coming to school because they were getting picked on for not having clean clothes. Yeah. And so he would have them just bring their laundry to school and do their laundry. He said his attendance rate went up by 10% as soon as the laundry room went in. His entire school attendance went up 10%.
Sucks.
Kids are not going to school because they don't have clothes.
Oh my God, there's this video I'm gonna show you after, but this lady fucking drags like the CEO or like VP of JP Morgan because she's like, somebody that works at your bank makes $33,000 a year. Yeah. And she can't afford to pay her bills, pay childcare, get to and from work without being in a deficit. So she's like, can you suggest a financial plan for her basically so that she can overcome this and not be in a $600 deficit while working for your bank? Wow. And he's like, I have to think of an answer for that. And so she keeps asking him all these questions. He's just like, I need to think of an answer for that. So she's like, you know how to budget a yearly salary of $31 million, but you can't figure out how to get this woman out of a deficit that makes $300. No, you can't figure out how to get this woman out of a $657 deficit. And he was just like, I'd have to think about it.
The Us movie. Yeah. Ain't everybody up top ain't thinking about the people below.
And it's just like, my nigga.
They don't even know they exist.
Yeah. And the sad part is that she works for his bank, and she was like her role was a bank teller, and she was making like 18 something an hour. Yeah, and I was just like, this isn't even the only person in America that is like that. Yes,
they don't care. They just don't.
No.
And a bank teller who's handling a ton of people's money. Yes. Should be getting paid more.
Be trusted.
They have to be trusted, right. But you're going to pay them $18 an hour and expect money to not go missing a little bit. Yes. Especially if they see an account that has $22,565,000. You think she won't try to pull out
skim a little bit?
$2,000, $2,500 out?
Like that guy you sent us who robbed them for how much? That guy that was the financial analyst or the financing guy for a company.
Oh yeah,
and he stole millions, like hundreds. He
stole like $350,000.
Yeah, and spent it on like strippers and cocaine. Drugs, and said that he had really low self-esteem and he fell in love with that. So he was making like fake invoices for companies, saying that they needed to pay this much and putting it in his bank account.
And his company almost closed down because he took almost all of the fucking money
of the company.
And I think he was mad at the company too or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But like,
it was some white fuckery though.
That's the crazy thing.
He didn't even go to jail for long, right?
Yeah.
And that was the second time he did that at a company.
Yeah. And he was white.
He was clever.
Remember, he was white.
He was very clever.
It's just like it just sucks because they just don't think about us. They should be helping us a little bit more, just even giving us like opportunities. Some companies do where they'll help you pay for school or they'll help you pay for housing.
I think Starbucks does that.
Yeah, but it's like, it just sucks. Like for him to hear the story about the girl making $33,000 and it's like, he has no answers. And it's like, you could hear her story and just give her like $100,000 because you have it.
31 million.
And that $100,000 won't hurt you, and you can write it off as charity.
Yeah.
But instead, I have to figure it out, and you're not going. Yeah, it is, and it's like it's not gonna help you. That same principle I told you about. Not only did he put the washer room, but now he created a Friday night after school program, but it's like fun as fuck. And so instead of the kids being on the street, they're coming to the school
I think I read about this now that you talk about it.
I think they come to the school at like 7, 8, 9, like late party hours, and they'll just come be at the school. And I'm like, beautiful. Play basketball. There's an arcade. They play music. They do cheerleading practice. They're just like chilling.
Being kids.
And it's like, This is what
this is what school's supposed to be.
I'd like look up to that guy, like, you know,
like, because this is what you're supposed to do.
That's you're supposed to care if you're doing it, you know. And we need the country to do a lot better, because all you teachers from the fucking 70s and 80s that were teaching the people, look who they just elected as president. Like,
right?
You guys fucking failed.
And you know what's crazy is that, like, people think that, like, they don't give credit to rappers for things that they do in the community.
Never.
But they never comment on how, like, these rich white billionaires do not spend their money on things other than for their own personal gain. Like, they don't do anything really with their money to give back to the community. Whereas these rappers who, like Nipsey Hussle, they get their money on their own. Granted, it might be illegal, but they take that illegal money and
his just started
not all
off
of his
like
was
that.
Illegal. His started off illegal.
Yeah, when he didn't have money.
Yeah, because this is what lower class individuals, aka poor people, have to do to get what they want.
Because who's helping them?
Exactly. And he takes this money, he flips it, and then turns it back into something to help the community so that people don't have to keep doing what he did to get to where he was. But these people that are rich through generational wealth, that been rich because their parents were probably slave owners, or their grandparents were probably slave owners, and they don't do shit for anybody. But we don't ever comment on that.
Yeah, their great-grandparents.
Yeah, you're right. Well, no, it could be their grandparents. Well, I mean, their grandparents could be racist.
Right.
And probably helped with the plantation.
With the racism. Yeah. Try to perpetuate it and make it last longer. Yeah, it's like, I mean, we can really go on about that subject.
Yeah, because racism isn't that far along.
Yeah.
Like, it could really be somebody's grandparents. Not racism, slavery.
Yeah.
Great grandparents.
A little bit more on the taxes thing. I know we tangented, but it's important. It's important.
Or whatever.
If you've been overpaying and you want to get some of that extra money back each pay period, try increasing the number of withholding allowances you claim. Note that you must have a reasonable basis for the withholding allowances you claim. If the IRS finds there was no reasonable basis for these claims, you may pay a $500 fine. There can also be criminal penalties for willfully omitting or providing false information. And you guys should know that. Stop doing crime.
Don't do illegal shit.
Okay. The most important thing is to pay enough tax throughout the year to avoid penalties and interest. You're required to pay at least 90%. This threshold was lowered to 85% for tax year 2018 of your current year's tax liability, or 100% of your previous year's tax liability, whichever is smaller. You'll also avoid penalties if you owe less than $1,000 on your annual tax return.
Like, for me, it's always like, yeah, make sure you don't owe. I'm like, but how do you know you owe? And, like, we just talked about
that. We have to, like, do more research. And I remember saying, like, for the next presidential election on our website, I know we need to, like, fix our website a little bit, but it's like on our website, I want to do, like, a page where people can refer, and I want to have the presidential candidate, what they say about themselves, what people who like them say about them, and what people who don't like them say about them, and just have a page of all of that so that people aren't because it's just, like, so confusing. We don't know who the fuck to vote for.
I don't ever know.
So, or at least, like, links, because someone might already be doing this, like, actually set something up. So, like, especially the Black community, which we need to vote more so that you guys can
in favor of us.
And even for people who don't want to read all that shit, I wonder if there's, like, since you're doing...
There has to be a video.
I was going to say, since you do computer science, I'm like, also, if there's just a text copy, it's like, can we do a little thing where it's like you can click it and there's a robot reading it for them?
I mean, you can make your computer read it to you off top. Like, you don't even need... I don't even need to do
depending on what software, and I'm not software,
can do
device people have.
Oh, you can make your iPhone do it too.
Not everybody has an iPhone. So it depends on the device.
I'm trying to think, like, I feel like every technological device can do it.
Okay, that's good, because I want to make it to where people who don't want to read will still do it because it's important.
Like a YouTube video.
Yeah. So we might put links or something. We'll figure something out. So it's the same thing with the taxes. I want to do the same thing, like teaching people how to do the taxes, especially because I want to eventually do educational videos. I'm like, I want to get my teaching license so I can literally learn how to teach, like actually get good at teaching in general. And so it'd be really cool to take what I've learned in finance and actually teach people how to do the taxes and do it with them. Like next year, like maybe I can do my own taxes after spending this, since tax season just ended, like spend this year learning taxes, because we might just be fucking ourselves over and not even know it,
I honestly really might, but who knows?
And then this last article from CNBC says, withheld too little tax in 2018, the IRS might help give you a pass on penalties. So the IRS said they'll waive the penalty for taxpayers who paid at least 85% of their total liability during the year.
Okay, so that's why it was lowered.
Normally, you have to pay at least 90% of the taxes owed in the year or 100% of the taxes owed in the previous year. Review your paycheck to make sure you're withholding sufficient taxes from your pay. If you fail to withhold sufficient taxes from your pay in 2018, the IRS might grant you some forgiveness. The tax agency said it would waive the penalty. Oh, it's saying the same exact thing. Okay. Yeah, it's like it said it in bold and then it said it in
positive reinforcement.
Right. We realized, and this is IRS Commissioner Chuck Redding said, we realized there were many changes that affected people last year, and this penalty waiver will help taxpayers who inadvertently didn't have enough tax withheld. We urge people to check their withholding again this year to make sure they're having the right amount of tax withheld. And I'm still here like, what? Wow. I'm going to start looking at my paychecks because I don't even know. You have to see the withholding. I guess you do need to use a calculator because you need to see what your paycheck is actually saying is withheld. Then you have to go on the calculator and tell them what you made. Yeah. What you made that year. I'm probably just going to average because I make different amounts every year. Like what I made last year versus what I made this year and average that. And then that'll be my withholding. And then I'll have a high and a low. So whichever the higher pay was will be my high. And whichever the lower pay was will be my low. Because I do want to make sure I just want to get more money back during tax season. Yeah, so
that's always the goal.
So that's really cool. While getting a bigger paycheck each period sounds alluring, it may come back to bite you in the form of a hefty tax bill come April. Alternative, withhold too much and you've essentially given the government a short-term loan. Wow. That's my fear.
Good. These niggas is in debt.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be at my highest, but I'm like, I don't, because it's like, I'm not trying to give y'all money. That's fucked up where if you don't give them enough, they try to fucking send you to jail. But if you give them
too much, they're not like, going to give it back.
Hey, thanks, fam. Like what the fuck?
Good looks.
You may as well have that money in your bank account. Ideally, you want to come in as close to zero as possible. Okay, cool. It's good to know. That's about retired people. Ain't nobody retired listening to this. You can also cross-check this number with your CPA or tax preparer to make sure you're on the right track. So that's just a quick little thing. We'll make sure to follow up about taxes, especially for next year.
Yeah.
Same with the presidential election because the primaries are about to start or starting. No, they're not starting. They're about to start. Donald Trump has already.
It's almost 2020 already.
Yeah, Donald Trump has already raised $30 million. I think Kamala's at like 10 and
isn't it Camilla?
No, Kamala actually.
Kamala?
Because I kept saying Kamala and it's actually Kamala.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know she was our government until she was on the Breakfast Club. I'm governor. Yeah. Until she was on the Breakfast Club. And
Everybody was super stoked about that.
You got a black lady governor?
Where you be at? I'm just kidding.
Fucking in the books. I'm like, shit, I've been in school. I've been nowhere else. Okay.
All right.
So it's time for our look at God. I see you, universe. Look at God because,
that doesn't get sung.
God does stuff. I know, right? I see you, universe. Because universe, some people don't believe in God, so they
start thinking about
energy.
Like
cats.
Yes.
I see you, universe. I see you, universe. Gotta be something else,
We're delirious. Hurry up.
I look at God. I wrote this early. Like, I think I wrote this right after taping our last episode, and I wrote shit since instead of like building on it. And it was like, I've successfully cut bills out of my life. And I remember I was talking about that last week, but it's like I said, my eyebrows, I don't get them done anymore. And I'm like, that was a bill. Last time was the last time I was getting my toes done, and I didn't even have them do anything. I had them just take the gel off because
you can't do that.
You can't remove it yourself, or it might be an issue, and then like looking at how much I owe left on my car, and like even though I pay a monthly bill on that, it's like knowing that I'm setting myself up to, once it's paid off, like not having any more bills. And it's like, and not returning it either, because I just can't. I just don't want any more bills. Like, I'm just like, let's just cut it, bring it down, because I want a house. And so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck it takes to get a house, because I really want a house.
Long to save for that.
Yeah, but it's like there's ways around it, especially if you have people living in it. Like, I don't know if I said it on the show, but I always say, like, I might not even live in my first house for real. It might just be my spot, like my crib. It might be an Airbnb, or like have people rent it out. Because as a woman living alone, it's just not safe. But at least it'll be mine, So, and then I was thinking like, because I always wonder, like, when I do get a second car, what car will I get? Because I know I'm not going to get a car until after I get a house. And I'm like, instead of getting another car, it's like I'm probably going to get like a like my childhood dream car, which was a lowrider. You know, like how people get like they have their car, their job car, the car they drive to work with, and then they have their fun car. And I'm like, I always wanted a lowrider with hydraulics with candy paint.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. Plus, it's like you can save money around it, like buying it from an auction and then just getting it painted and then having, or getting a really shitty old one with a shitty engine and having the whole engine thing swapped out for all the new shit, which I'm like, that'll cost a lot, but whatever. If I have a house and a car and I'm ready to buy another car, clearly I have it. Yeah. So it's like, it's stuff like that, thinking about stuff like that. And thinking about it allows me to like look forward to the future instead of like stressing for the future. It's kind of just like, I try to live happy because I know good things will happen, even though it's like, who knows? Dun, dun. But I'm just speaking into existence that only good things will happen from this point. There'll only be growth and elevation from this point. Same with the podcast. Like, it is a look at God, because it's like we have growth and elevation and like having more interaction and having like more understanding. We can eventually touch people. That's why it's like even on Instagram, it's like I choose to be real just because it's like not everyone is going to, and I choose to be different because not everyone is going to. And so hopefully at some point it makes a difference in someone's life who might go through something similar as me and might be living through things that other people just don't fucking understand. At least they know that they have someone that understands who made it. You know, someone who like, and like I said on the last episode, I want to get more humble. So it's like someone who made it and stayed humble, like all those things. So it's all a look at God because I see it coming together. It's like and my mind is kind of at peace other than me dreaming too much. Like, and they're not even all bad dreams. It's just like, I don't like dreaming so much. I've been dreaming a lot lately.
Them shits be weird.
This shit's is weird. Like, chill. I don't want to remember. I mean, I guess we always dream. I'm sick of remembering them. Like, just let it be a little blur, you know? I'm just a weirdo for that. But yeah, it's like a look at God. I feel like Nipsey Hussle's mom said, perfect peace.
Look at God. This week is over for me tomorrow because a bitch has had it. I've been waking up at like 4 a.m. every day this week.
Are you going to sleep in?
Tomorrow?
During the weekend for Coachella.
Yeah, but a bitch still has homework.
I was just about to say, are you going to sleep in?
No.
Fuck.
I honestly like never sleep in. And when I do sleep in, I'm losing out on time that I have to do stuff. Because like if I don't sleep in, I drink coffee, and then after my coffee wears off, I'm like, damn, I need a nap. And then I end up taking a nap, and then the nap is too long. So it's just like, but I have to start training myself again not to take a nap. But when I wasn't taking naps, I was drinking a lot of coffee. Or
you can do the coffee nap where it's like drink coffee and just lay down.
That don't work.
What do you mean?
Me,
you need to sleep in. And like I did learn that trying to sleep a lot in one day does not fix anything.
No,
it only fixes one day.
Yeah, but I am going to at some point, probably when I graduate school, work on sleeping, because I feel like after I graduate school, the only thing I'm gonna have to work on is applying for jobs. Oh yeah, and look at God, like I'm really almost done with school. It's gonna be that until I am done, just like how Nina's was. Like, I literally have a countdown in my head of when graduation is, and the bitch is so fucking ready for that shit. Like, if I could get a time machine and speed it up, I probably would.
I don't even know. Like, shit, man. I'm like, how was I alive? I barely was.
And that's what I barely was. Today I have literally done something since 4 a.m. So since 4 a.m. and it's now 10:20, I have done something in all of that fucking time. Yeah. So I'm my head is like swimming. That's probably why I can't think of like a real look at God, because I probably had one, but I didn't put it in my phone. Yeah. And if I don't put it in my phone, it's not real. So yeah, that's what it is for today. Yeah, so yeah.
I can't do 4. I'll do 7.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so me, like,
I'll do 7.
You know what's funny? When I sleep in, my sleeping in is 7 a.m. I usually
I love that. There was a period when I was in school. It's funny, when I was in school, because of my sleeping schedule in school, there was a period where I was waking up at 7:30 a.m. every day, and I fucking loved it. It was the best. My days were so long. So you know how much shit you can get done if you get up at 7:30. Say like you're up at 7:30. And I always go through my email, even though they say don't go through your email as soon as you wake up. So I'm gonna have to switch.
What else am I supposed to do?
I think it's like you're supposed to start your day and then get back to it. Like you know how you kind of like clean up your room a little bit. Yeah. You know those little things you do in the morning, like you might wash something from last night. It's like I I used to love it because all my tasks would be done by like 10, and then I'd be able to go to the gym till like 12, and then it's like I still have the whole day to do shit. Or it's like, even if I took a nap, you're still fine. Even a sleep nap, you wake up at damn 3
with the wrinkles.
Yeah, 3, 4, and that's a whole sleep because you spent your whole morning doing shit. You wake up at 4, now you have energy. Now you can fucking study and do all this shit. Like, I really do miss waking up at that time.
The days.
Like, when I felt good waking up at that time, that's the best. I do wake up always at 9 something now, like 9 something, maybe 8:40, but I still won't get out of my bed until it's past 9. Like, yeah. But like, oh man, I miss 7:30. That was really good. That was a great time. Yourself.
That's the hard part. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening.
I just want to sleep. Yeah, and send us questions, comments, concerns, how you feel. Talk to us. Communicate. Do the whole thing? Yeah, I mean, we could. The show's over anyway. Just so you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Gettin Podcast. There's no G at the end of Gettin. Subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Follow us on there, comment, and listen to us on there. YouTube.com. You're going to search Young and Gettin Podcast. You'll see a cartoon version of me and Ashley in the studio. Subscribe on there, comment on there. We're on Spotify most of the time. Right now we're having issues, but we're gonna be back on. What is life without issues though? What is life without perseverance?
They probably want us to do a paid account through them.
No, it was just like, they're just like one of those websites where it's very difficult to actually contact the website. They put me through a lot of hoops and loops and this shit. It was really weird.
Annoying. Can you do like Squarespace?
Yeah, so I know, right? Yeah, everyone needs to get like Squarespace, honestly. Shit. But yeah, Spotify, search Young and Gettin Podcast. There's an apostrophe at the end of Gettin. Please follow us. Make us your playlist on there. We're on GooglePlay. We're on Stitcher. We're on Pocket Casts. We're on every podcasting platform, okay?
And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at YAGI_podcast, or on Facebook at facebook.com/YAGIPOD. And then we have our website, which is www.weareyagip.com. And then if you would like to send us a little something outside of our social media and our website, you could email us at Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com, or you could text, call us, and leave a Look at God voicemail at 323-486-3811.
Yes, episode 74. See y'all next week.
Bye.